everybody, happy Homebrew Wednesday. It's Brad here at Wild Boys Brewery. Hope you're having a good week. I got some updates on my Sculpin IPA. Getting ready to keg that, and I'm also blending around and playing with, not blending to bottle, but just was blending some bottle dregs on some of my sours. So we'll cut to that. Okay, I just got through transferring my Belgian dark strong ale over into my new carboy here. I got another big mouth bubbler. Sampled the gravity on it. It's about 10-10. It's been sitting in primary now for quite a while, about a month, maybe a little more. I was planning on souring this one to begin with, so what I did was I put my Russian River Consecration Dreg starter, which I started back in 10-12, in it. I pulled a little sample of that and checked it out. Was drinking really nice by itself, just straight, but it had mostly Brett character to it, and just a little bit of acidity to it. Not necessarily acetic acid where you're worried about it. Just it was just barely starting to tart up, and I was wanting it to be quite a bit tarter than that. So went ahead and added that, and then I pulled a little sample of my Cascade dregs that I started on 12-2-14. And it was, if you had any Cascade beers, you know that stuff was sour. And it tasted great. So I just went ahead and pitched both of them in there. So I've actually got, looks like about 6.5 gallons here. Right there's the 6 gallon mark, and then it's on up to here. So I pitched 1.5 gallons of, well, probably about 3/4 of a gallon. You can see where the line was there. This was probably about 3/4 of a gallon, and this one was probably about a little less than 1/2 gallon. And so that boosted it up. So that should funk and sour that Belgian up really nice fairly quickly, I hope. I'm going to let it sit for a couple months and check it out. And I haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet. I've got a spiral and a honeycomb both. There's the honeycomb. Probably going to use the spiral in it. I'm going to soak it in some Cabernet Sauvignon or something similar to it, because that one's kind of supposed to be like a consecration clone-ish. I won't say it's definitely not going to be a clone since I pitched those Cascade dregs in there. To be honest with you, the consecration that I did try was really nice drinking beer for what it is, but I thought it could have stood to have been a little more sour. So I think this one's probably going to be closer to what I would like. It's got more of the sourness from the Cascade bottle dregs in it, and it's got a real nice Brett funk to it. It's not the weird. Some of those Brett flavors are just not very good. I mean, they got some weird ass flavors if you add. What is that one was 10, 11, 12. So at 4 months, that starter with the bread that was in the consecration was drinking real nice. So I'll probably let that go about 3 or 4 months, 90 days, 90, 100 days, something like that. And check and see where it's at, see how sour it's getting. I don't think that one's going to have to go a year before it's going to be ready to drink. So I'll let it go for probably about 45 or 60 days and pull a sample and see where it's at. And if it's getting close to kind of where I think it needs to be, I'm going to go ahead and pitch the spiral. I'm going to soak it in wine, pitch everything in there, the wine and the spiral both, and then let it go for a little while, a couple months, check it out, and then probably going to have to rack it off to another fermenter to make room for the, I'm either going to do black currants or dates or something like that to kind of simulate the what it's like, or I might just do half the batch like that and then just go ahead and keg the other half, just see where it's at. And so that's drinking pretty nice. Also, I've got my Sculpin. I'm getting ready to keg it up. I've got to transfer this black, well, it's not black, but this blackberry saison that's been sitting forever in the keg out of that keg, and go ahead and run that keg through the washer, and then I'm going to keg up my Sculpin IPA and get that carbon up. And I've got, I was going to mix this Wicked Weed, Oblivion, Crooked Stave, St. Breda Citra dregs that I put the stout on. May just pull a sample on that and see how that tastes. See kind of where it's at. And I may mix some of that with the Saison. And I've got another 6-gallon Big Mouth. And I may just like put that in there. And then the keg, I didn't wind up drinking that much of the blackberry Saison. So I've got probably at least a good 3 or 4 gallons of that. Okay, I just pulled a sample of this stout. And mixed it with the dregs from Wicked Weed, Oblivion, Crooked Stave, St. Breda Wild Beer. Man, that thing is awesome. Like it is right now. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to, let's see, it was 10, 12. So it's only been going for about 4 months. A little over 4 months. And that thing is super sour, but in a good way. And a nice little bit of funk to it as well. The Brett coming through on it. Be totally honest with you, thinking about just bottling that one up the way it is and just going with it. So we'll see on that one. But that thing's really nice drinking right now. Really pleased with the way that turned out. So I think I'm going to just rack this Saison over into the bubbler here, the Big Mouth bubbler. And the only thing I've really got left, I may add just a little bit of this dregs to it because it's real nice. And then add the supplication dregs to it, which has also got some Orval dregs in it as well, which have been going for about 2 months or a little more. Looks like that one was in there at 12, 13, 14, so about 2 months and a week or so. Pull a sample on that, see what it tastes like, and may just wind up adding that to the Blackberry Saison. I hope you guys are having a good week. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, and cheers.